I'm meteorologist Kaitlyn McGrath. After such a nasty start to the day, we will continue to see improvement here throughout the afternoon. The very last of any showers are out of here by 3 o'clock at the latest, and we might even see a little bit of blue sky, a few breaks of blue sky before the sun goes down this afternoon. Now temperatures, they stay chilly, upper 30s, maybe low 40s, so definitely grab a heavier jacket as you're heading outside this afternoon or evening. Temperatures will stay in the mid to low 30s through about midnight tonight, but eventually overnight dropping below the freezing mark for everyone. We're in the low 30s for D.C. and southern Maryland, 20s in many of the burbs, 26 degrees in Frederick, 28 in Leesburg, 25 in Front Royal. So definitely extra layers at the bus stop tomorrow. Hats, gloves, scarves. It is going to be not only a cold start to Wednesday, but another chilly day. Temperatures will stay about 10 degrees below average, only in the low 40s throughout the afternoon. But at least we have nice sunshine to enjoy. It's going to look like a beautiful day. It's just going to feel like a chilly January day instead of December. Now, as we head through the rest of the week, temperatures will stay generally below average, with the exception being Friday, which is going to be significantly below average. We're talking only 30s for our Friday forecast, and then as we head into the weekend, we stay in the mid 40s. And as far as our storm chances go, we catch a break from any activity Wednesday and Thursday. And right now, I kept Friday and the weekend into next week dry, but this is your heads up that a storm is possible both Friday and then again Sunday night and into Monday. So I'll take you through kind of two scenarios here, our two long-range forecast models that we look at for data this far in advance to talk you through what we could see unfold. But again, I kept Friday and Sunday both dry for now. This is Friday morning, and this is the American model. Mostly cloudy, and that will keep our temperatures in the 30s, but dry through the afternoon. And then this model tries to clip us with a little back edge of a storm system that looks to stay far enough to our south that, if anything, we would just see some showers for areas south of I-66. It flies out of here without any fanfare, and by Saturday morning, we're dry once again. No issues for Saturday. We wake up dry on Sunday, but then later Sunday night, and don't get too excited here if you are a winter lover, this computer model brings in one heck of a snowstorm overnight Sunday and into Monday. This is 6 a.m. on Monday, with snow continuing throughout much of the day for areas mainly off to our south. But again, I don't think this is really going to come to fruition. I think the more likely scenario is what the European model has a handle on, though the European model is more aggressive for snow on Friday. It brings that storm system farther up to the north and brings in a good burst of snow Friday afternoon and into the evening. Again, I think the more likely scenario for Friday is a southerly track with maybe some showers in southern Maryland. And the European model has absolutely nothing Sunday into Monday. So again, it's far in advance, but this is your heads up that we are watching both days for potential winter storms. But in the meantime, we're going to enjoy some sunshine Wednesday into Thursday. Friday, that storm is nearby, so we might have to add at least a few rain chances, if not a few snow showers. But looks like we stay dry for Saturday into Sunday as well, with temperatures getting colder as we head into next week. Once again, only in the 30s.
We are dealing with a big winter storm in the east from the mid-Atlantic all the way up into New England. We've got a wintry mix and then heavy snow as we get farther north. Also very heavy rain all across the southeast, and the cold has settled in across much of the nation. Taking a look here at our forecast highs for your Tuesday, we have those 30s there in New England. Certainly the 30s as we head into the mid-south, still well below average. Places like Memphis and Louisville, you won't be getting out of the 30s today. Cold in Minneapolis as well, with 24 degrees your high, and then we've got some chilly air really confined here to the west, but pretty much most of the country is staying exceptionally cold as we have this Arctic air in place. There's a look at our satellite showing that big storm with the snow moving into New England this morning. The really wet weather in cities like Atlanta and Charlotte making that commute pretty tough out there. And then the pink in the middle there in the mid-Atlantic indicating maybe some sleet and some icy conditions. Now, some portions of New England could actually pick up maybe 6 to 9 inches of snow out of this. So we have the watches and warnings up. The purple there, those are winter weather advisories. The white are those winter storm warnings for places like interior Massachusetts into Vermont, New Hampshire, and down east Maine. But the Ohio Valley, also places like Cincinnati, Cleveland, you could get some decent snow out of this. And then Washington, D.C., you're going to be right on the edge of that. The severe threat for your Tuesday looks like this. We do have it confined really to the panhandle of Florida, and that would be just an isolated shower or storm. Let's take you coast to coast now with those temperatures. We'll go from the 40s there in Seattle and Portland into the 30s in Spokane. Heading into Southern California, a decent forecast for you there in San Diego with comfortable weather and 70 degrees by Thursday. Phoenix, you'll be at 70 today. Denver, you're in the 40s and then dropping way down into the 20s with some snow likely coming your way by midweek. Here in Texas, we have the 50s in Dallas-Fort Worth today. Austin, Corpus Christi, and Houston, you're all sitting in the 50s as well. And then heading over into the Mid-South and the Deep South, Little Rock, you're not going to be getting out of the 40s today. New Orleans, not out of the 50s. That goes for you there in Atlanta with a very wet morning for you. Tampa, you'll cool off a bit by midweek, back into the low 70s. The Mid-South staying exceptionally cold right now. Louisville, Memphis, about 20 degrees or so below average. St. Louis, you're also feeling the chill out there. And heading into the upper Midwest, below freezing temperatures. Look at that in Des Moines, Iowa by Thursday. Your high only 14 degrees. And then, of course, heading into New England, we are hovering right about freezing there in Portland, Maine. Buffalo, you'll get a little snow today with the 30s. Messy weather for you there with the 40s and rain in D.C. And Norfolk looks like you will be in the 50s.
Driving during the winter can be tricky. Snow or ice can make the roads tough to navigate. Our reporters in Virginia and Ohio have the do's and the don'ts for driving in the snow and ways to prep your car ahead of the next storm.
The best advice for winter weather driving? Just don't do it. Stay at home if you can. If you can't avoid it, here's what you need to know. Our sources are the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, AAA, and Kelley Blue Book. So these are the top 3 things that you should do. First, keep your distance from other cars on the road. Second, never slam on the gas or the brake pedal, and get your car prepared for whatever happens. That means filling up on gas, checking your tire pressure and tread, and always keep an emergency kit handy. Our sources also weighed in on some common questions around snow driving. First up, should you speed up before you get to a hill? AAA says hitting the gas hard could make your wheels spin and reduce your control over the car. Instead, try and get a little inertia going before you reach the hill and let that carry you up. Next, can children's winter coats make your car seat less safe? The NHTSA says that's true. Puffy coats can lead to loose-fitting harnesses. Instead, dress your child in thinner layers and put blankets or coats on after the harness is secured. And this one is a very common misconception. So Kelley Blue Book says you should actually not put your windshield wipers up before the snow comes. That can damage the springs that keep the wipers flush with the glass. But even if you follow all this advice, you still might find your car slipping on ice. So listen up to this. If you start skidding, take your foot off the gas pedal. Fight that urge to just slam on the brakes and instead tap the brake pedal lightly. And if your car slips to one side or the other, steer your wheel in that direction. All this will help you regain traction and self-correct out of the skid. With your Verify, I'm Kyle Johnson.